All right, Cowherd, do you hear those words? And what do you hear? A guy that's angling to come back to Los Angeles?
I do. I do. I think he's just opening up doors, and he may walk through them. Listen, this idea that suddenly, because of Larry Nance Jr. and Jordan Clarkson and George Hill, he is so satisfied in Cleveland.
Rodney Hood.
Rodney Hood is Utah's third best player. Jordan Clarkson's the Lakers' fifth. And because of that, LeBron, hey, I'm going nowhere. These C-plus guys, this is how I'm going to end my career, playing with George Hill. Really? The greatest player maybe ever is happy playing with spare tires. They had a flat. These guys are spares. They're not snow
What's
tires.
Brandon Ingram?
Huh?
What's Brandon Ingram?
Potentially an A.
What's Lonzo Ball? These are the best Firestone tires in the world.
You know what Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball are? Significantly better than Jordan Clarkson and Larry Nance Jr.
No. What Rodney Hood, George Hill, Jordan, they're grown. They're coming into their prime. They're in their prime or coming into their prime. They're the right pieces around LeBron. I hear that, and I hear a guy that has L.A. figured completely out. It is a great place for a circus. But then he transitioned to, championships. I'm not sure if the Lakers are ready for that. And this group I have here in Cleveland, I think LeBron thinks he can win with this year. And if he can win with them this year, next year after they add an additional piece or two, hell yeah, they can win. So I don't hear anything about Los Angeles. I hear a guy focused on winning this year.
And here's the thing, too. If it were in Charlotte, as it is next year, do you think he would have ripped the city? He would have praised Charlotte, too. Hey, this was great for the All-Star game, great setting and all that. It all depends on what's LeBron's motivation. If he wants to continue to win championships, there are a number of places you could go besides the Lakers. Houston, San Antonio, even though I don't think he'd go there. Philadelphia, or just stay in Cleveland. The Lakers would be lower on the list. If he ends up coming to L.A., I think he's had his mind made up and he just wants to be in Los Angeles. But I think he'd be selling himself short. He's got probably 3 or 4 years left as a top 5 player in the NBA. He comes to the Lakers, he'd essentially be saying, I'm not really trying to win anymore. And if he wants his legacy to be chasing Michael Jordan or reaching Michael Jordan, you should still be trying to win titles. And I say there's other places to go rather than the Lakers.
I spoke to someone very close to LeBron 3 days ago. It wasn't Samantha, don't worry. It was
Savannah.
Savannah. See, I don't even know his wife's name. And this person told me flat out, LeBron James is interested in scaling the Golden State Warriors, and that means winning a title. And if he can win 1 or 2 more titles before it's over, people will say he's the greatest player of all time. It won't be a question anymore. And so I think that, to Colin's point, if the Lakers freed up that much cap space and they got Paul George there and they got, name a decent free agent below Paul George's ilk, that's a team that could possibly scale the Warriors. Other than that, he's not going to take the minimum anywhere. He's going to maximize his value. I think Cleveland makes more sense than anything right now.
Do you remember Patrick Ewing as a Sonic or Dominique Wilkins as an Orlando Magic? No. We forgive your final chapter. LeBron's legacy is set. There's no downside to going to the Lakers.
But they would be done.
He just compared LeBron James to Patrick Ewing and Dominique Wilkins.
They were done by then.
Okay, but Michael Jordan went to the Wizards.
He was done by then. He was 38 years old, 39.
If he goes to L.A., and let's say, well, he'd make him a playoff team, and if Paul George joins him, they're going to be viable. But we're not going to go. He's not going to drop from the second best player to the 13th.
He could. Not 13th, but he could drop from second.
I don't think you could go to any other Western Conference team other than the Warriors and the Rockets that you could say, definitely, we're going to scale the Golden State Warriors. And I think for all I've heard, I believe he's going to stay in the Eastern Conference. And right now, I think Cleveland is the odds-on bet. If they go down 4-0 to the Warriors in the championship, then that's one thing. But if it's a 6-game, 7-game series,
exactly. I'm just trying. What could be better? He's already beaten the 73-9 Warriors.
Right.
If he takes out the Durant, the Big Four Warriors, he can
with role players.
Right. He can drop the mic again.
But that's not going to happen.
Here's the one thing about LeBron. When we talk about LeBron and Jordan, the one thing LeBron definitely has over Jordan is that he could take any group of players and make them essentially a contender.
Yeah.
I mean, Jordan, when Jordan retired from the Bulls, they went from 57 wins to 55. When LeBron leaves, you go from 60 to like 20.
Your franchise is dead.
Yeah, and so if he could beat this big four, to your point, with Larry Nance Jr. and the guys you mentioned in Cleveland, that would be an argument where you could say he's better than Jordan. He did it once, but if he could do it again, it'd be huge.
What happened to you over the weekend? And I'm not even trying to be funny in terms of, I'm telling you, I like this team around LeBron. You don't like it.
No, it's not that I don't like it.
He wants him in L.A.
But no, it's not that I don't like it. It would be great at 12 minutes from my house. It's not that I don't like it, but these are LeBron James picked the All-Stars. He loved it. He was totally engaged. LeBron, when he can pick stars, Olympics, he likes it. There's no way that Larry Nance Jr. and Jordan Clarkson are making him satisfied. He's just happy today.
In one-off, short-term situations, playing with a bunch of All-Stars is great. Over an 82-game marathon, in the marathon of the playoffs, LeBron likes to be the guy, unquestioned.
Yeah.
Well, that's what satisfies him over the long haul. Occasionally, flying out to Vegas and finding something new and exciting for a brief weekend is great. But over the long haul, this is what he needs, role players in their prime around him.
I also think LeBron, when he went to Miami, he sold himself short. I think he was good enough to take a cast of role players to a championship. He wasn't mentally ready yet, but now he's won, he's older, he should be ready. I think he's good enough.
All right, Whitlock, a mistake for Cuban to admit they tanked?
Being transparent with your players, I get. Hat tip, great. Why does he got to be transparent with Dr. J's podcast? How is this a good look for the league? He is the highest profile owner, other than Michael Jordan, in the NBA. He's clearly the most vocal. If I'm Adam Silver, I'm irate today. If I'm the other NBA owners, I'm irate. Why do you got to run your mouth about everything? You have no secrets. Nothing stays in private. Mark Cuban loves attention. He's got some more coming now. But no, this is not a good look for the NBA. And if I were Adam Silver and his ownership partners around the league, I'd be upset with Mark Cuban.
I think just the tanking itself is a mistake. Look in the region he's at. Houston's good. OKC's interesting, good. San Antonio's good. Dallas is a mess. Like, if you were thinking about going to that region to play, Dallas would be your fourth choice. I think he's made the mistake of thinking tanking works. Phoenix is no better. Lakers are still praying to get LeBron. Philadelphia, the process. By the way, Houston never tanked. San Antonio never tanked. Toronto never tanked. Boston never tanked. LeBron never tanks. The fact that he thinks tanking works makes me think he's great on Shark Tank, and he's great with the internet. I'm not sure he knows basketball, because I think tanking's done.
Well, first of all, I do agree with you, Jason. I mean, look, if he was trying to trade Dirk Nowitzki or Dennis Smith Jr. at the deadline, you don't come out and say that. Like, everything is not for public consumption. Secondly, I don't know if he told his players or if he told staff, like his front office. If he told the players, you should never do that. If you want to tank, you tell the coaches, look, play the young guys, and you just won't be good enough to win. But you never set that losing cultural tone in your franchise. Thirdly, this is revisionist history. He ain't trying to tank. It's been bad management. A year and a half ago, 2016, they gave Harrison Barnes 4 years, $94 million.
Okay.
A couple months ago, they offered Nerlens Noel 4 years, $70 million. Those aren't the moves of a team that's tanking. This is revisionist history. You're a bad team.
I get all that. I get all that. And I absolutely love this. And you know why? Because I'm being contrary. No, the main reason is I think Mark Cuban is telling fans what they already know and what all the other owners know. If anything, is the dirty little secret in this league is sometimes you have to be really bad before you're good. I look, the Wizards, it took them years to build around John Wall. Now they've got a team. Trust the process. Here in Los Angeles, the Lakers, after Kobe, they won, 20 games, 19 games? I mean, this is the NBA now. If people are honest with their fan bases, if owners want to be honest, they'll do what Ted Leonsis did in Washington and say, we're going to be bad for a while before we're good, and this is just how it is.
But, if you look, we have a graph. Superstars don't want to play with scrubs, okay? The Mavericks have 10 undrafted players. That is not an appealing roster to elite players. Forget low draft picks, marginal guys. That's 10 undrafted players. I think Dallas has an issue. It is now seen as a losing franchise, right in the same neighborhood as Houston and San Antonio, an exciting OKC.
They've never been able to get a big-time free agent.
They can't. I think players look at them now.
But again, isn't Mark Cuban betting on we're going to be bad, we're going to have our pick and maybe try to flip and get someone else and get lucky in the draft or develop your own players the way Golden State did and get good that way, the way Philadelphia.
Here's the thing. Golden State didn't tank. I mean, Draymond Green was a second-round pick. Was Klay Thompson's a lower lottery pick? Yeah. Steph Curry was a 7th pick. Yeah. So they were just smart. And that's all. Look, tanking is not the way to go. I think the Phoenix
the Spurs would argue with you back in the day.
They did tank back then. Well, what happened was
that's how they got Tim Duncan.
Was hurt.
Okay, but
David Robinson was hurt and then they left him out.
Tanking worked 25 years ago when you got a grown man like Patrick Ewing. You're getting 19-year-old kids now.
But I think what Jason was saying earlier, like, Philadelphia is proving that tanking is working now.
That's one team.
The Washington Wizards. The
Wizards are mediocre. I know you picked them to win the East, but they're mediocre. Come on.
By the way,
why did you have to tell people on the air that I picked them to win the East?
Okay, we got to stop with it's working in Philadelphia. In the West, they would be the 11th best team.
But hold on. You know, they have 2 potential, and I'm going to say it, potential all-time greats.
The only way I have
Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid.
You could
if
be
they
right.
Stay healthy,
but the only point I will concede on this whole thing is that I can't see doing this to Dirk Nowitzki in his last days. Like I know Kobe was used to it because he knew the show was all about him.
And he was getting 40 million.
And he was getting $40 million. But Dirk Nowitzki has taken less money over the years to remain with the Mavericks. The least he could have got was a playoff team at the end of his career.